What's going on? What's going on? We're back. On Talk 26. Let's get litty. It is storming here in Atlanta, damn it. Get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up, get 'em up. Come on, come on, come on. Killian. Love, don't be shy, extreme. Damn, this is dope. Byredo, Mojave Ghost. Good stuff. But tonight, we rock Water Sail the Victorious. Angelique. Let's get it. Big Shirley. Big Shirley with your sexy ass. Put some hot sauce on them ankles. Yeah. I wish they got me talking about putting stuff on both ankles. What is the world coming to? Hot sauce on ankles and cankles and fables and labels and frigs and trigs. How we doing? Let's get it. Let's do it. We got questions. We got question and answer. We got question and answer. Because the question I have tonight is, for the man that hates women so much, who else is trying to get you to a better outcome than you already got? He hates women. He hates his mama. Ooh, his mama black. He's gay. He's gay. Look. What, you need an ultrasound picture too? You want my baby pictures? I got some from Vacation Bible School if you need that. If you need the ultrasounds or my pictures from Santa Claus, I can get you those too, if you need them. And that ain't gonna change nothing about what's going on in your life right now. I hate him. Oh, I hate him. He make me sick. Oh, just stop. Oh my God, he's freaking gay. You're gay. You're gay. I mean, when you realize it's really the same 6 or 7 insults that I've been dealing with my entire life. I mean, come on, man. You gotta do better than this. Because at the end of the day, what does it come down to? What we're really doing is asking the question. And I got a question for ladies. And this is a very serious question. So many women today you're doing your thing, okay? Whether you want to be married or not, have kids or not. But my question is for the average woman. I'm not talking about a woman who's making $150,000 or more. I'm talking about the average woman. What do you owe your community? And understand where this is coming from. You know, it's funny that oftentimes men are told, you need to get out and make something of yourself, and then you need to come back and give to the community. That's what's put on men all the time. You need to come back and give to the community. But what do women owe the community? What do single modern women owe the community? Because if you're not married, you've already foregone giving the community the one thing that it needs, another family. So if you're not going to be married with children, giving to the community in the most basic, essential way, What do you owe your community? Because you expect your community to give something to you. Think about when I talked to that woman, and I said, well, how you going to get from the end to life? By praying and the ancestors and this and that. All right. So you expect the community to do something for you. My question is, what do single modern women owe their community? Anything? Anything at all? Or does it, or do you just exist there for you to take it from? Here you go.
I'm good.
Or does the community just exist for you to take from it? Just exists for you to take from it. And I want to hear, because I have yet to hear any women really say what they owe the community. What do you owe the community? I would think that most women would say they owe. Let me read some of the responses I got on YouTube, because I did put out like an informal straw poll just to get some responses, and let's hear, because let's see what it said. We got 256 replies back. Look at what the women say. Shannon said, self-reflection, accountability, honesty, and the demeanor reflects this. Okay? A woman said that we owe the community by starting to take accountability for our actions. Another woman said women owe it to their community to stop chasing the wrong men and reproduce with stop chasing the wrong men that result in reproducing broken homes. Another woman, we owe the community respect, accountability, and cooperation. And one woman said, honestly, we owe the community everything. And you know what? That's the truth. Honestly, you owe the community everything. Because it's the very community that you live in that, unless you're going to be under the cooperation and protection and collaboration with the man, it's that community that you're going to expect to look at your house. When you dial 911, when you're gone, you're going to expect your neighbors. You're going to expect the men of the community. And whether it's your neighborhood, let's talk about the community. The community is black America in general. It's not a neighborhood. And the real question is, what do women owe men? Or do you just take? You expect to be protected. You want to be protected. You want the infrastructure there. And if you're not giving what you owe, I don't think women today really believe they owe anything. It's like you expect to. Let me give you an example. How many times have you gone to a party with somebody who's throwing a dope house party, and you know and I know, just like everybody else knows, you don't show up to a party empty-handed. You bring something. But think about the people that you know who show up to parties empty-handed. Not only do they show up empty-handed, they show up hungry and thirsty. Hungry. Let me tell you something. Don't come through there. Here we go. How come you run a talk show when people talk, express their opinion? Because I'm not running an express your opinion show. See, one of the big mistakes, especially in the community we have with our women, is you think you're supposed to be able to talk until you run out of breath. That you're supposed to be able to monopolize and dominate the conversation, to talk about what you want. That ain't what it is. You can't go on the Tonight Show late night and sit there and talk. There is a time frame, there's a schedule. And if that's more than you can handle, then you're welcome to have your own show and sit up there and talk to your heart's content. But right now, the way this runs, it's going to run by a format. There's a topic, and you'll stick to the topic. And if you don't want to stick to the topic, go to your channel and do whatever you want to. But you are not entitled to do whatever French toast you want just because it's a talk show. See, that's one of the things. Modern women today are so entitled. They think they can just come in and kick over the table, do what they want, say what they want. And if you actually, just like that woman, you over talking me, sir. You over talking me, sir. I actually had somebody did a breakdown of that video. Did a breakdown of that video and said, talk time. That woman talked 62% of the time, but according to her, I was over talking her. According to all the women, you're over talking her. She spoke 62% of the video. But see, you're used to being able to dominate the conversation, dominate the square, and that shit is over. Men are asking, if you're not going to get married and reproduce and have children and be under the cooperation, collaboration, leadership, and responsibility of a family to make a nuclear family, to build a community, what do you owe the community? Men are told we're expected to come back and tutor and build and such and so forth. What do you owe? And like, think about it this way. How many people know that person who shows up to the party? Show up to the party late. They drank water all day to stretch their stomach so they can eat as much as possible, drink as much as possible, and don't even bring a bag of chips or ice. I knew people like this. You know it too. And nobody likes those people. Nobody likes those people who come, take everything, and give nothing. And then got the nerve to say, this don't taste good, and this ain't right, and this ain't right. Ladies, if the community is a party, what do you owe the community? Or are you showing up to the community just to take from the infrastructure, from the protection, from the church, from the people who came before us? What do men take to? Here's another thing. Let me tell you something. Amara, men, we're not doing that over here. This is not that balance shit. It's always, well, not that tit for tat. Well, men do it too. We don't do that over here. You've had 60 years to talk about what men do. We're talking about what you do. And I think that's your name, Amara Lanega. Yeah, that's not what we do here. Take. When can we just have a conversation and hold women solely accountable for what they do without doing anything else? Like I asked the other day, ladies, I got a question for you. Serious as cancer. Question for you, seriously. Can you explain why you are where you are without blaming the man? To all the single women, explain why you're single without blaming the man. Explain why you are where you are today without blaming a man. Explain why you're doing what you're doing without deflecting to men. Because over here we're doing triage. We don't go to say, well, you know what? You're laying in here with a heart attack and a punctured aorta. But you know what? He's got an ingrown toenail. Well, we need to get on that ingrown toenail. We need to stabilize you and patch your aorta. We'll get to the ingrown toenail in a minute. But see, that's a deflection tactic. It's always, we're supposed to talk about what you want to talk about, how you want to talk about it, and not get to the women as a problem. If women want to be married, then why 80% of when a divorce happens, women are leaving 80% of the time? You know what causes divorce? People filing divorce. Like it or not, men don't leave. Let me ask you something. To all you women, how many relationships have you had with men where you have not left? You owe the community something. What is it? And it's not to say what the men do. We're talking about you. I think that's a fair question. I spent 3 years talking to the men. And I never heard the men, when I'm talking to the men, holding the men test, they never say, well, the women do this too. The men have gotten themselves on a better track. In the last 30 years, black men, 51% are single and childless. 64% in the middle class. Go to blackdemographics.com, black statistics for black people, by black people, and you can see the stats. Black men are doing well. Black men want to marry black women. But where are the black wives? Let me ask a question that a buddy of mine and I were talking about this the other day. I'm going to read it verbatim. What does the stereotypical wife act like? The stereotypical black wife act like? How does the stereotypical wife show her husband love and respect? Describe the stereotypical wife. And you cannot use Claire Huxtable because she wasn't stereotypical. At the end of the day, We keep talking about we want this community, we want this community, we want this community. Then what do you owe the men of the community? What do you owe the children of the community? What do you owe, and do you owe putting yourself second? Got a revolutionary idea. Maybe it ain't about you. Maybe your happiness and joy is for your youth, but then you got to come do your duty. Just like countries who have compulsory military service, maybe, just maybe, you got to do like our grandparents and elders. And they actually built a community and put their selfish wants and needs to the side for the betterment of the group. How many people stayed in marriages for the kids and everything else, but everybody today, especially women today, it's all about you being happy. You ask, why'd you leave a relationship? We grew apart, and then when it starts getting real tight, then here comes the questionable abuse, cheating, that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, dude is whooping ass like hotcakes, but I don't see women's eyes hanging out there. I don't see this level of abuse. Back to whether you like it, ladies, what do you owe your community? Because how are we going to have a community if the majority of the population doesn't owe it anything? If the only people who owe the community are men and married couples, what do single women owe the community? Let's get into it. All right. Now remember, the only thing I require is you got to show yourself on camera, and you cannot. Let's do it.
Oh, damn. Let me sit my phone up. Wait, I'm not going to get cursed out. Hold on.
No, it's okay. Let's get to work.
Oh, my goodness. I'm talking to Mr. Samuels.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. So the question on the table is, what do women owe their community?
I think as a Black woman who grew up not seeing...
Can you do me a favor? Can you turn off the background noise that's coming across? Is it like on TV or something?
Oh.
Guys, I'm gonna shut the comments down so we can have a conversation.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think just as a Black woman who didn't have any like strong examples of positive relationships, marriage is something I never aspired to have. It was like, I'm gonna just be successful, I'm gonna make some money, I'm gonna take care of myself, I'm gonna have my dog and my car. And then I realized when I was like 26, like, damn, I'm gonna die alone. Like, I need to do the work. So I did the work, started going to therapy. I knew I had a lot of unresolved daddy issues. So I was like, look, girl, figure it out, get your credit up, be bomb, but also like do the work. I started dating. I was making sure that I was the best version of myself.
Okay.
And I want my audience to be the best version of themselves because I don't want them to die alone.
Okay, so how old are you?
I am 31.
31.
But I'm married. I just don't have my ring on.
Okay. So what would you say that women owe the community? I got your story. Shortened version of the story, but what would you tell the typical single modern woman that she owes our community?
I think.
Or do you think single people or individuals don't owe the community anything?
No, I think that's the problem. I think we owe our community everything, and I think we owe our community the accountability. Like, and a lot of my people who I love and care for, I'm like, we got to do the work.
What does that mean?
The work. We have to hit the gym. We have to, break the status quo. We have to hold each other accountable. The world isn't gonna like work for us.
You say we. You mean who are you referring to as
we? As Black women.
Okay. So do you feel like that Black women in this case act as though they owe the community anything?
I don't think we do, but I think a lot of us are waking up. And I think a lot of us are realizing that if it's not us, it's, you're definitely adding to it, but a lot of us are not holding ourselves accountable. We think the world is going to happen to us and for us because, you know, we're the cosmopolitan generation. We were sold all this fucking, excuse me, the rainbows, and you can have everything. You can have the career, the husband, you know, the lifestyle. And it's like, no, you can't. And it's okay.
So when you have this, so do you have this conversation with women?
All the time.
And how's it received?
I think a lot of the people on my platform receive it. I get a lot of pushback.
From who?
But I think like being someone that's 31 and married to, I
From,
guess
from
what you
who?
would say.
You get a pushback from who?
My peoples.
I don't know. I mean, you say I get, it's well received, but then I get pushback.
So yeah, so it's well received. I want to say it's like a 70-30. So it's like, well, I wasn't born skinny. I wasn't born a 10. So like, why do I have to measure up? Why do I have to be this? And it's like, you don't have to, but you can accept the fact that you are a 6. It's nothing wrong. I watch your content. I love you, by the way.
Well,
nothing wrong with being a 6. But the fact is, we're kind of like raised to think that we deserve. Everybody's not going to have a high value man. Some people don't even like really want to be a high value wife. So why do you want to be
married?
I am.
Why do you keep saying she's not married? I don't care about that, folks. Let me go ahead and do this. I don't really care about that stuff you're talking about right now. When you say things to hold women accountable, what percentage of your content are you doing to hold women accountable?
Maybe like 20%. It's something that's new for me.
All right.
Mainly because most of my platform is like women. So, okay. And most, you know.
So here's my question. If most of your platform is women, and women are the most unaccountable, what do you feel is more unaccountable to the community? Is it women? Is it men? Or do you think it's equal?
I want to say woman only because I think just from what I know, you know, a lot of us just try to skate by.
Well, I think it's undoubtedly women because I don't hear women being told they need to graduate, go work, and then come back and save the community. I don't hear that from women. We tell women to go out and live their best life in hot girl summer. We tell men they need to come back to the hood.
I think a lot of women do tell other women to come back to the hood. I think it's just not promoted because it's not pretty. It's not great content.
Tell me why they do this because I'm 52 years old.
I mean, listen,
I can't think
you
of
are
any
the
place
godfather.
where women are told. I can't think of any place where women are told to come back to the hood and tutor and mentor and buy property.
I know a lot of women, and I don't know if it's just because I'm in my 30s now.
It's anecdotal. And here's the reason. Here's my challenge. If you know that you talk to 20%, and 20% of your content is about telling women to do the work they need to do.
Well, trying to live the lifestyle, because I'm a woman, so I know what we don't like, and this is just me just being real. Like, I was raised to think like you're a baddie, you don't need anybody. Like that's the way I was raised. Okay, I'm unwriting that. I'm unwriting that.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is,
and trying to live by example.
Yes, because what do you think Black women actually listen to what Black men have to say?
No, but we listen to each other. That's what I'm saying. Like we're doing it. It's just you don't see it.
Well, that's the problem. That's
Kevin, they don't want to hear it though. They don't like it. We don't like it.
See, and that's my issue right there. You don't want to disrupt. You don't want the pain. You want
pain. So, it's a lot of pain.
Okay, then who's going to do the work?
Can I ask you a question?
After you answer mine.
We're gonna do the work, but
No, you can't just say that.
Kevin, I just went live today and I told everyone.
Listen.
Example.
20%, 80%.
I'm also newly married, Kevin, to be fair. So it's like new for my.
All right. So, and
this from experience.
So this is an area that needs improvement. The women who know better have to stand in the gap, just like the men you want to do, because it's our community, whether you like it or not. And if you know that women don't listen to men, if y'all don't stand up and speak, what do you think is going to change? And the reality is, it comes across like this to me. I learned it. I'll do what I can do when I can do, but at the end of the day, I'm only pushed so much, and somebody else will come do the work. And that's bullshit.
No, it is bullshit. It is. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you,
because then I get women asking me, well, who are you to talk to women? Because y'all won't do it.
Kevin,
like,
you deal with women, right? You know what they say and how they react to you, right? Imagine, I almost got canceled for, like, thank God I have my own business, but it's like, you know, if I didn't.
Do you see what they're doing to me?
No, I know, but they're harder on women. They don't want us. They're harder. Okay, let me not say that. From my own experience, I literally.
What does you mean, lady?
Kevin, I literally got canceled for just like a caption, and like for 72 hours, I had to literally leave the internet.
Who canceled you?
Nobody canceled me, but they tried to.
So here's what I think. We want it easy. I want you to think something. I want you to just, you're 31. How old are you? 31, 32?
31.
I want you to take yourself back to 1950. And you were born in 1950. So that means you were coming of age in the civil rights generation.
I already know where this is going. You're right. You're right. We do have it easy. We have it easy.
So, I mean, I didn't go looking for this, but here I am. So it's like, okay, I'm looking for allies, looking for people who do things like, oh, go ahead and do you. But I'm newly married and I get this and I wasn't raised with that. Neither was I. But if you're not going to, here's the thing. If not you, then who?
Oh.
You have 500,000 Instagram followers, right? Right?
Yeah.
If not you, then
I guess I can definitely take accountability.
You see the point.
I do. And I'm trying to lead by example, Kevin. And I think, you know, anyone in my circle can say that. Kevin, technically, you know, I will be, what would you say? I'm a PhD. I'm a PhD. Like, marriage was something I was raised not to want. But I realized it was something I needed.
I get you move point. But here's the thing. The reason why it doesn't get any better is because what do you hear in the Black community? Once we never go back and do nothing. So that's what when Black man gets something, he never goes back to do it. But then this is what I'm saying. That's bull crap. Y'all never come back and do it. You do it till it's like, oh, I'm not gonna risk that because I know how that's gonna be. So I'm going to profit from the hood. I'm gonna profit from my sisters. 80% of the content I'm gonna give them.
All right, Kevin, you ain't gotta do that to me tonight, though.
But what I'm saying, and the reason is because we don't have women supporting women on the same message that got you married.
Can I ask you, what should I do?
Telling women that you're fine the way you are, and you think, and you this and you that, and all right, and here's the thing. Who does it end up hurting at the end?
Women that look like me.
That's all I'm trying to get women to understand. That's how it ends up hurting women that look like you because of the pushback. Well, if women have, so think about this from a power standpoint. Why do we need to worry about institutional racism, white supremacy, all these other institutional forces? We're not even willing to do the work together. So I thank you for having the conversation because it is going to be incumbent for more women to talk to women. Because unfortunately, we're in a position right now in our community where the women don't really put much value in what men say. And when women stand up and say something, they want to cancel you. That's the truth. And unfortunately, unless women start standing up to where you have some backup that's female, nothing's really going to change.
I'm going to campaign for some backup.
All right, sis. Appreciate it.
Keep doing the work.
Thank you. You know, I think it's, guys, I don't want to really get into who her husband is and also that's not the conversation. Um, look, we need. I really want to ask the question to the women: what do you owe the community? Okay, because see, one of the funny things is I've heard, oh, you profit off the community. You do this, you do that. Look at you making money and da 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 da. And I have the conversations every day. I have conversations every night. What do you owe? Do we owe anything? You owe, Pook. You owe. And I want to know to the. I got an MBA. I got a PhD. I got this. I got that. What do you owe? Y'all. Anyway, y'all stuck on something else. Let's see if we can get more people on here than one. Hello.
Oh, hey.
How
Oh,
are you?
hi.
Hello.
Okay, so,
How old are you?
hi, how are you?
How old are you?
How old am I? I'm 28.
All right.
Yeah.
Ryan sitting on Chinky. You all right?
I've been drinking.
Okay.
It's been a long day. I decided, let me drink some wine. I didn't know I would end up on here. Just kind of shocking. I wasn't ready. So,
Okay. So what do you got for me?
okay, so I wasn't even paying attention to your question. So your question is, what do women owe to what?
The community. Their communities.
What are you referring to when you say that? Like, what do we owe to what community?
Your community, your group.
I don't feel like we owe anything.
Are you married?
Oh, as bad as that answer.
Are you married?
Think we owe anything. I don't think
Are you,
anybody
listen,
owes
listen, listen,
anybody.
listen. You need to listen. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Back up a little bit because you're a little bit out of frame. So you don't owe the community anything. All right. Do you live by yourself or do you live with someone?
No, I live with my daughter and my mother.
All right. So if somebody was coming to threaten your home, and your neighbors and your male neighbors saw that, they would owe you nothing.
Honestly, no, they don't.
Okay.
I don't
And
even.
that's the world you want to live in.
No, it's the thing. Okay, I understand where you're coming from with the whole neighbor thing, like with the whole question with the male. Yes, I feel like as a male, you not owe, but like as a male, you should protect. For example, say someone was coming with a gun or like with whatever to females. Yes, you would expect the male to owe anything, but at the end of the day, they don't owe anything. If that makes sense.
So let me get this straight. You don't think you owe your neighborhood anything, your people. So who do you owe?
Only person I owe anything to is my daughter at this point.
Really? Where's her father?
I feel like I don't belong in this conversation. I actually accidentally clicked to join.
No, it's the same conversation. It's a modern woman thing.
Belong in here. You're asking the wrong person.
It doesn't really matter our community, but this is just a microcosm. I'm listening to a woman that says she lives with her mother and another woman. That's 3 females. You're the most vulnerable. If the world's ended tomorrow and government ceased, you would be the most vulnerable because you can't defend yourself. The reason you can say this stuff, the reason you can the reason you can say this stuff is because you have government, 911, and everything else.
No, not even that. I've never thought of anyone owing anything to me. If that makes
well, did you go?
like,
Did you grow up in this country? Did you grow up in this country?
Yes, I did grow up in this country.
Okay. Did you go to public school? Did you go to public school? You can't overtalk me.
What were you saying?
Did you go to public school?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. The taxpayers owe you an education. Do you owe them anything back? This is what I mean, gentlemen. Modern women take. They don't think they owe anything. The world exists to benefit them, and when it's their turn to give back, nothing.
No, but that's the thing. I don't think I owe anything back, but I don't think like I deserve anything either. For example, like I've been working since the age of 14. Yes, I've had the same career / job since the age of 14. I've never had any government hands off or anything like that. So it's like I don't feel like I owe anything to anybody, but at the end of the day, I still feel like people owe to me. If that makes any sense. Sorry. Everyone that thinks I'm drunk, yes, I am.
I'm not worried about that.
But I'm just saying, like, I don't think anybody owes me anything. The same way I don't feel like I owe anybody anything, but at the end of the day,
So you want to live. So you want to live. So you want to live in the world. So that's the world you want. Listen. So that's the world you want your daughter to grow up in. You don't owe anybody. Nobody owes you. It's kill or be killed. It's law of the jungle.
no, it's do whatever you do to benefit yourself, and you get what you get out of it.
And let me tell you something, young lady. Pay it. No. You need to pay. Listen through the wine. No. See, that's the thing. This is what I mean. Women really believe that this shit works. She really believes that she's on the level of a man. That is how safe women are today.
But I never mentioned a man.
No, because you don't even understand what you're not. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on because she doesn't get it. You see, that's the level we've gotten to, and I let that go on because, guys, whether she's drinking or not, it's irrelevant. That is a woman who talks about a career since 14, living with her mama, her, and a daughter, and don't feel like nobody owes anything, but be the first one to dial 911. Shit goes down. Women don't feel like they owe anything today. They owe themselves. So black community, we're the canary in the coal mine. But if we think this is not happening other places and other communities are not dealing with this, and think about it, a woman who has a child and has had the same career since 14, I don't owe nobody. Nobody owes me nothing. Let the power go out. Let's see if this happens and gets put to the test. And the whole notion that because women can have a job and because they can make a little money, that they are safe. Women today really believe like they're safe. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Back up a little bit, you're off frame.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Is that better?
Yeah, so what do women owe their community?
I mean,
First of all, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay. What state do you live in?
New York.
Okay, what do you owe your community?
When you say what do I owe
Mm-hmm.
black community, or do you mean what do I owe a man?
I'm talking about the community right now.
So I think that I guess my duty to the community would be to give back in terms of, like, I feel like I'm a successful woman for my age. Well, I know I'm a successful woman at my age. You know, I make good money, and live on my own, went to school and all that good stuff. So I feel like my duty to the community would be to give back in a sense. If I'm volunteering, I'm mentoring somebody who's like younger than me, to put them, or to not to put them in a position, but put them on the road to be in the position that I'm in.
Do you do that?
Yes, I do.
So you owe your community volunteerism?
Yeah, I think that's what I owe my community.
That's it?
I think so, yeah.
So your community that you grew up in provided you nothing but volunteerism.
I mean, in a sense, yeah. I mean, it's a village, right? To raise a
No, well, if all you get is volunteerism, is that really a village?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yes, I would, like, when, you have your parents, and, if I'm young and family, friends, volunteering to
First off, let me stop right there.
Okay.
Were you raised with your mother and father?
I was raised with my stepfather, but my dad was a...
Okay, but you said your family.
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe a community. You don't owe your community a family.
Do I owe my...
Yes.
Yes.
Newsflash. Yes.
I don't necessarily think that I owe my community. I think that if
the women today don't even realize that the first thing you owe your community is the building blocks of the community. Nuclear family.
I mean,
ma'am, listen. I need you to listen. Listen. What you said you owe the community is what a man brings. Money and activity.
But I mean, that's not just what men bring. That's I think
Yes, no, okay. See, the problem is that you don't understand the difference. Women are supposed, men have buy a house, women make it a home. Black women have been convinced to give up the main superpower, your femininity. So now you're coming to talk about your success, and I let you talk about your success, and you framed your success in a masculine way by your education, your income, and your accomplishments.
well, that's what I have in my life right now.
At 25, and that's the point.
Well, I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily a bad.
Oh, okay. So you think your community? So at 25, you think your community is better off today than it was 20 years ago?
It depends on in what way. In terms.
Okay. Do you think your community today is better off than it was 60 years ago?
Yes.
You think your community today is better off than it was in the 60s?
Yes.
In what ways?
In the ways where, I mean, just as Black, we have more. And I use that term.
We have more what? We have more what?
For freedoms, and I use that term, but in terms of the resources that we have,
Such as
technology, such as.
That has nothing to do with your community, man.
But it does.
No, it doesn't. Technology is no. I said your community. Technology of the day was a library and a library card. We had technology. It was called microfiche and radio. We had technology.
Okay.
Do you live by yourself?
I do.
Do you have an alarm in your house?
I do not.
You have a doorman building?
No.
What kind of security do you have?
I don't have security.
Oh, okay. So there's no locks on your doors?
I mean, yeah, those. I feel like every home has a lock.
No, but they didn't used to.
Okay.
Can you walk down the street at 3 o'clock in the morning and with the light and with the lights out and feel safe in a blackout?
I don't think so. No.
So you could back then.
I mean, I wouldn't. I personally wouldn't know that because I'm young.
Well, that's the point. So you can't say it's better off today because obviously you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about from a technological standpoint, but even from a freedom standpoint, we actually had neighborhoods. What part of New York do you live in?
I don't live in the city. I'll say that. No.
What part of New York do you live in?
Long Island.
Long Island. So it's on the borough of Long Island. No, Long Island, not Staten Island. Long Island.
Yeah.
And 70 years ago, what was the black part of Long Island?
70 years ago, I can't say.
Because it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was still Harlem.
Which is in a borough.
But before crack. See, y'all don't know what we used to have. Where'd you go to college?
SUNY Albany, upstate.
SUNY
Albany, which is
right. So this is what we've effectively done. We've made modern women today have become men. Don't even realize that the women made a neighborhood a community because your mama wasn't home. You could go over to Miss Jenkins' house to get you something to eat. She got something for you. When's the last time your neighbor knocked on the door and said, "What's your first name again? What's your name?"
Destiny.
Destiny? Hey, Destiny, do you know all your neighbors in your building?
I don't know all of them. I know some of them.
How long you been in that building?
2 years.
2 years? How many stories?
It's like a home, so it's I live in an actual neighborhood, not a building.
So you don't know everybody in this home?
I know everybody in the home. I know, neighbors, two doors to the left, right.
Two doors to the left and right, but you don't know your block?
No.
Okay. See, you were down on your block back then. So when Roberta come down, hey Hey, Destiny, come out some flour, some sugar.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, she would have probably just walked in your door because the screen would have been open.
Okay. I believe that.
Can you do that now? Can you go ask your neighbor for anything? 3 doors down?
So yeah, the ones that I mentioned,
No,
yeah.
no, no. 3 doors down? You only know them 2 doors down. 3 doors down.
I mean, if count
So
indoors, yeah,
no, you can't because they don't know you and you don't know them.
I
See, you don't have a community. You have an apartment.
don't. Okay.
You basically live in a prison. See, you think you're free, young lady. You think you're free, but see, when you were free is when you could walk down the street and not have to worry about being touched, whether it was a blackout, brownout, whether you had lights or not, because they knew Destiny was so-and-so's kid. She could walk from one street to the other, go several blocks over. Kids could actually get on the bike and ride down the street, and nobody would have to touch it. They need dogs, pistols, sticks. They were safe.
Okay.
You could actually eat food, drink somebody's house. You could even spend the night at your friend's house. You have lots of sleepovers when you were a kid?
With
Nope.
friends that my parents knew.
Exactly. So now the neighborhood, what I just described sounds like a neighborhood in a community
Okay.
where kids is outside playing. When Destiny get outside and go play, and you had to go outside and play with the kids who came in from the summer visiting their cousins, such and so forth, and you played with the neighborhood kids. Did you play with the neighborhood kids in your neighborhood?
When I was younger.
What age did that stop?
Probably playing like high school. Probably.
You stopped playing in high school.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with people you grew up with?
Some yes.
Okay. So, 60 plus years ago, we had neighborhoods, we had communities.
Okay.
You don't have that now. You got an apartment. And effectively, if I just put a glass dome, 2 doors there, 2 houses this way, 2 houses that way, and you didn't know, you'd be in prison because you don't use anything past that. And you call that freedom. Ain't that a bitch?
I mean, I feel like we took a turn.
No, we didn't take a turn. I just, no, it's called checking. You don't understand that you don't have a community. That's why you don't feel like you owe anything because you're not attached to anything with you. It's what you want.
No, I don't think I'm me. I'm attached.
Who do you volunteer for in this? Who do you volunteer for in your neighborhood? Since you don't know nobody 2 doors this way and 2 doors that way, who do you volunteer for?
I usually do a lot of volunteer through my job. And
But your job ain't your community.
Well, they are a pathway to my.
No. Your job is it voluntary? Is it required or is it voluntary?
Okay,
Is it required or is it voluntary?
Is a job required for voluntary?
No. The work you do, the volunteer work you do. You say you do it through your job, right?
Yeah, most
Is
of the
it
time.
required that you do it or is it voluntary?
It's voluntary. You're not.
Okay. See, I thought you actually meant that you, on your own compunction, went out and did this out of the goodness of your heart. Not just. No, there's a difference. I'm not discounting what you're doing. I'm just saying it's different. See, when Coach Johnson used to teach the Little League, he was actually the head football coach, but then he taught the Little League because he cared about the boys in the neighborhood. He didn't get paid to do that, and his job didn't set it up. He did that in addition to.
Okay.
So you get credit for volunteering through your company. They know about it though, right?
I mean, yeah.
So there's a professional benefit to doing that. See, yeah. So what I'm just saying that it's not as selfless as it used to be.
Not as selfish just because
I said it's not as selfless as the other situation.
I was saying, like, how is it less selfless?
How is it less selfless? How is it less selfless? Because you don't know anybody in your community. You're volunteering through your job, and your job has these programs set up. And they basically, you're going to work doing volunteer work. You're not doing something to help the neighborhood, your community you grew up in, something you chose to do with your own skills. That's how.
I do that too. I don't think it's, but I don't.
You do what? You do what too?
Volunteer within my and mentor people.
Where?
Just people that friends. My mom.
Why are you breaking up?
Oh, can you hear me now? Is that better?
How can you volunteer in a community where you only know people 2 doors this way and 2 doors that way.
But I'm talking about the Black community as a whole, like not necessarily like I mean I'm where I'm living now, not where I grew up. So technically, it's just my current residence.
So where do you volunteer?
I volunteer throughout like the community that I grew up, whether that's helping.
How many times? How often a year?
Um, I would say I don't know if I can probably count. Probably I can. I'll be honest about that.
How many?
Maybe like 4 to 5.
4 to 5 times a year.
Yes. What I mean, listen,
See what I mean, people? We
but
spent all this. Listen, we spent all this time, and you don't even realize that, dear heart, 4 to 5 times ain't nothing for a community. That's a weekend. That's a month's worth of activities. The way it used to be, what it's supposed to be.
okay, but I mean, I feel like it still counts, and it's still an effort. If you take time out of whatever you have going on, and you use that time to help someone else or make an
Average at best, mediocre.
I mean, but what is what is okay? So when you say
Listen. Don't get defensive.
I'm not. I just want.
Listen. 4 to 5 times may be a lot compared to what the rest of your generation is doing. But it ain't nothing compared to what a community is supposed to be.
Okay.
But see, at 25 years old, 50 years ago, you'd have been married already, probably have a kid. And you would...
Probably. I believe that.
Yeah. And you would have actually been rooted and connected to your community. Your community, the community you live in, are all the people in your neighborhood Black?
It's a very mixed community. No, so it's not.
Okay, so due respect, you don't even live in your community. It's not an insult. It's just a statement of fact.
Okay.
We used to live in our communities.
Okay. Yeah.
So when I'm talking about the work, what you're talking about, I'm volunteering, I'm doing all this, and people who know where I'm going, read the comments and you'll see the disconnect between your 25-year-old understanding of what do I owe? I don't really owe anything. I do stuff. Well, yeah, you owe quite a bit.
But I didn't say that I didn't owe anything. You said.
Well, the thing is, we owe more than volunteerism. And,
Okay.
the fact of the matter is, you are a single Black woman living in a mixed neighborhood.
Okay.
Unmarried, no children.
Yeah.
Are you in a serious relationship of any kind?
I was.
How long ago did it end?
A few months.
A few months. Do you want to be married ever?
I do.
Do you want children?
I do.
How many children would you like to have?
Ideally 2.
About what age would you like to get married?
My goal was 28, but I don't.
28. So if you want to get married by 28, by what age would you like to have your last child?
Last child probably 34.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first child?
No.
Okay. How much is the man going to have to make to take care of a family of 4 in Long Island, to where his wife does not have to work?
In Long Island and like living comfortably in class, I'd say at least 275 to 300.
Did your last boyfriend make $300,000 a year?
No,
Have you ever dated a man that make $300,000 a year?
not yet.
Not yet. This is going to get tough, okay? How tall are you?
5 feet.
Dress size?
Probably like a 6 or 8.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
160.
So
I'm
you
thick.
never dated a man who makes that kind of money. So you expect to find a man as you get older who earns more money. I got to ask you, man, what do you bring to the table that a man making $300,000 a year should pick you?
Well, I'm supportive. I'm self-sufficient. I can be submissive if I'm with somebody who knows how to lead.
I I can cook. I can do all of the traditional things, and I'm a passionate and loving individual.
You're self-sufficient.
Hmm.
You're talking about a man who's making $300,000. He don't care if you're self-sufficient or not. He's the one that has to be sufficient.
I mean I.
Listen. You said I can be submissive.
Hmm.
That's bullshit.
That is not, because I was kind of submissive in my last relationship.
I bet you believe it was, but you also thought you volunteered too. And I showed you that what you call volunteering ain't much.
Okay.
What percentage of men earn $300,000 or more?
Less than 4.
Uh-huh. And what age do men hit the financial stride?
Uh, if I had to guess, I'd probably say like late 30s or early 40s.
45 to 55. Are you prepared to date a man that's 40 plus years old?
No, I'm not.
So you expect a young man under 40 to make $300,000 a year. I want you to understand this.
Hmm.
What makes you that special to where you get a man who is an exceptionally high earner at a very young age? Why would he pick you? Why should he pick you?
Because I kind of listed like all of the qualities that I believe that I bring to this.
Man, what you mentioned,
Hmm.
due respect, men who enter this country illegally and stand out front of Home Depot and sell cans get the very same things from their wives.
Okay, but I don't think necessarily that I need someone that's at that level right now. I don't think there's anything.
Well, I asked you if you wanted to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child. You
I don't.
said no. So listen, if you want to get married by 28 and have your last child by 34, from the moment you get married and get pregnant, you want the man to be able to pay. That's 300,000. So that's within the next 5 years. The math can't be overcome. And
Okay.
I'm going to say, ma'am, could you live with a man, deal with a man who's earning what the average black man earns in this country?
Yes, because I've done.
No, no. Could you marry him and be happy with him for a lifetime?
Yes.
You could be happy with a black man making $40,500 for the rest of his life. That's $20 an hour.
Wait, you said 40,000.
40,500. That's $20 an hour. That's what the average black man makes in this country. Yes.
Could I be happy with? Would
Mm-hmm.
would I be happy with it?
I'm not playing semantics. I asked you, could you be happy with it?
I think it's possible.
No, I'm asking you, could you? I know it could be possible.
Yeah, I think it's possible if all the other qualities are there.
Okay. $20 an hour.
It's possible if
That
all.
means you're going to have to work when you're pregnant.
I mean, it's not. It's all.
That means you're going to have to work when you're pregnant. You're going to have to work until retirement age. That means your kids are going to go to public school. That means unless you, I mean, I didn't ask you, but do you plan on making in excess of 6 figures?
Yeah. Yes.
Uh-huh. So, and then who's going to manage the money? Would it be you or him? Because you'll be making more than he is.
Well, I feel like when you get married to someone, partnership, right? So it's not.
That's the theory.
It's not one or the other. So you both manage the money.
No, somebody has to manage it. But at the end of the day, I don't understand why you young ladies expect to be stay-at-home wives when you're just average. Do you think, I mean, is that an insult, calling you, saying that you're average?
I feel like, to each their own. So,
But ma'am, but you laugh when I said when you're average.
yeah,
That,
I don't think I'm average.
what makes you above average?
The things that I bring to I think I'm an attractive woman.
Okay,
That
what would you rank yourself on a scale from 0 to 10? Just your face, you can't use 7.
can't use 7, right?
Mm-mm.
I heard the Kelly Rowland. I would say if I have to place myself against Kelly Rowland and Beyonce, and you know what? No, I could rate myself at 8 because I think.
But you think you'll rank up there with Beyonce?
Yes, we are both beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I would give you, arguably, I give you a 5, maybe a 6 on a good day.
Okay.
I give you cute. But ma'am, this is not insulting. Okay.
I'm not.
But see, the thing is, this is what the sad part is. So many young women, you overinflate your price. A man who's making $300,000, that's what you want, and you don't think you're average, and you're average because that's what you've attracted in your past. You've had average men.
So what? I mean, but I'm only 25.
But you're an average 25-year-old. You're 5 feet tall, 160 pounds, and you're average looking.
I don't think I'm average looking. I think you think I'm average looking.
Okay, I really don't want to do this with you, but I'm, as one person who's the professional image consultant and the person who's not, you're average looking. That's not insulting. There's nothing about you that says, look, there's no way that you be walking down the street in Hollywood or New York City and someone would say, we need to bring her in to model for Ford. We need to get her on the cover of this. She needs to be on the cover. When you talk about pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous, these women are model beautiful. Universally. And today, saying a woman is average is an insult. Saying being with an average, you want to say, well, like,
well, I don't think it's an insult. I think it's just
it's not even a perception, man. It's like, okay, and I'm trying to be as political about this as possible because you're young, but have you modeled?
No, I don't have a model.
Okay, so if you put yourself arguably next to Beyonce, if I put your picture and made it pop up on everybody's phone at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning and said, do these two women match? Are these two things equal? You think the world would say, yes, this person and this person. Yep, they're in the same category.
Just on looks?
Just on your face.
I mean, I think it depends.
I said worldwide.
It depends on who.
Yes, no, ma'am, that's a yes or no. What do you think the worldwide average would be?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Beyonce's beautiful and I'm beautiful, so I don't think that I'm not offended that it's
I don't. I mean, I'm not. It's not a matter of being offended. You're delusional.
I don't think I'm delusional.
Okay. Well, see, I'm trying to be nice, but I think we should leave this because I'm going to start asking you questions that are going to be uncomfortable. Where have you gotten 8, 9, or 10 outcomes in your life? Where have men who have been rich, wealthy, or powerful who have openly tried to get you to be their primary girlfriend?
I haven't yet. But
exactly, because you're not that quality. You're not on that level.
No, I don't. I think that's what it is. I feel like, and I've watched lives.
No, ma'am. It's you exist. No, listen. You go out of your home. The world sees you. Guys, I'm really doing my best, but this is the length of denial with the average woman today. You're seriously rating yourself on the level. You're saying that if tomorrow morning, here's 2 phones, and everybody popped up and said, here's Beyonce, and here's Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Which woman would you rank? Are these women equal in looks? And you're saying that the majority of the world would say yes.
Mm-hmm. I think it depends on who's looking at it. Some people will say yes, and some people will say no. But that's with anything.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not.
This
is why how we've gotten here is this is when I ask what do you owe the community. This is the mindset that you're all special. You're all beautiful. That if I stood you next to Beyonce, no one would say you're in Destiny's Child. They would say you're a fan. They'd be in the beehive. You'd be on the first row screaming, saying, I'm a survivor, but you would not be on the picture of the marquee. That is not you. And I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt that you're average and you're cute, but you are not on that level. You have not had these outcomes. You can shake your head and give me all the diva girl confidence you want to. You have not had these outcomes in your life.
But I mean, to date, no. You can't. I'm 25.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I'm young.
You're right, ma'am. You're right. You're young and you're only going down.
No, I just think that like you.
You're right. You're right. It doesn't matter.
They fold.
You're right. You're right. You're
Okay.
right, man.
All right.
You're right. And I'm trying to help you. Really, I'm really trying to help you. But
Okay.
you're digging in a deeper hole. So it would be wise to just stop. Okay?
Okay.
It would just be wise to just stop. Confidence is good, fine, but delusion is not.
I think that's not delusion.
Denial, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's just go there. Then why do you think that you and Beyonce and you're right up there with all the classic eights, Pam Grier, down from Good Times. Why do you think you're up there with them?
They're successful women that are confident in themselves and have accomplished. I'm a successful woman that's accomplished.
That has shit to do with looks.
And that's
Ma'am, that has nothing to do with looks. It
Hey,
has no, ma'am. I said it has everything to see. This is the problem.
no, you did.
Listen, ma'am. I'll let you speak, but I will let black women believe their socioeconomic status increases their sexual marketplace value. You are what you attract. Your sexual marketplace value is based upon your looks and your figure. Now, arguably, you're short and you not as thin as you could be.
I'm thick. It's in the, but it's in.
Oh shit!
It's true. I'm just.
Man, you're 5 feet and 160 pounds. You weigh more than a man.
It's proportioned nicely.
It's not proportioned nice. It's proportioned like a man.
It's not.
Man, oh shit. Whoever your parents are, man, Mr. and Mrs. I tried, but your daughter needs a reality check. Young lady.
Okay.
You're 5 feet tall and 160 pounds. That means you're around a dress size 8'10".
Mm-hmm.
You should be a dress size 4. At 5 feet tall, you should really be around 110 pounds.
Okay.
You're 50 pounds. You're 50% over your target weight. Let's just look at the BMI, shall we? Let's look at no. Go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and do the BMI calculator.
Statistics are you not skewed?
No, go ahead. Don't tell me what's wrong with the statistics. Tell me why it's where it should be. The BMI is everything for everybody. Your BMI is 31.2.
Mm-hmm.
That is classified. Underweight is underweight, normal weight, overweight is 25 to 39 to 25 to 29.99, and obesity is the BMI of 30% or larger. Your BMI is 31.2. You are obese.
Okay, by the statistics.
By the reality.
Yes, and it's
by the reality. Okay, so an obese, 5 foot tall woman who's average looking, saying that because I is successful, and I'm assuming you're talking about in your career.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm internal audit.
Okay. Good job. You probably do you might be doing very well. Are you earning more than 50,000?
Yes.
More than 75?
Yes.
Less than 100?
Yes.
All right. So that puts you in the top 9%. That's great for a young woman. But do men pick women based upon their income?
I don't think just based on income, no.
Men don't pick women based on income. Men pick women based upon their sexual marketplace value. Your looks, your physique. Then after that, whatever they determine, if not, why do women who make more than you can't seem to get a man who's a higher value? Why do men who are truly high value tend to go for women who are not PhDs and not high earners? Because attraction is not symmetrical. It's different. What women value and what men value are two different things. You keep saying that you give yourself a ranking based upon your income, and that's not what we value.
But it wasn't just based on income.
It's only based upon what's on the scale and what's in the mirror.
Okay.
And that's what the world would see at a glance. And the fact that you're pushing back and denying this is making me step up and say, now look, you can be as confident as you want, but when you start getting into denial, I'm going to tell you as the image consultant, this is crazy. Because if you went into a modeling call Let's say you took your confident self into an open casting call. And for people who think I'm tough, if you've ever seen an open casting call, they would tell you strip down to your underwear, and they will go put a marker. Have you ever had anybody draw on you and tell you your problem areas? No.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So you ladies are over-ranking yourselves.
But I feel like when you say that we overrank ourselves, you compare it to the problematic energy that exists that women.
The problematic what?
The problematic standard that exists that women have fought to.
That's bullshit. Knock off a European. I'm comparing you to black women. I'm comparing you to black women. I'm comparing you to black women. No. I'm comparing you to black women.
And you have black women that are.
I'm comparing you to black. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to have, you know, a open debate, but I feel like
there's no debate about it. There's this whole European beauty standard. I'm comparing you to black women. What's the problematic standard? You said out of your mouth, regardless as to what the standard is, you said out of your mouth, I feel like I'm on the same level as Beyonce.
Yeah.
You can feel that, but it's not true.
Not in every aspect, but yes.
Okay. I'll tell you what. You want to challenge? You want to put that to the challenge? I'll take a screenshot of this right here, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram story and let people vote. I'm going to put Beyonce's picture and your picture and say, are these two people the same? If you want, you want to see what the market says.
But you can't, no two people are the same.
Yeah, like, see, and the fact that, this is one of the things, and I think it's interesting. This whole, the back here right here, man, this is why so many of our women are unfit for relationship. You argue facts, data, and statistics. You argue observable reality. The inability to just let stuff go and even just accept the reality. It's like, no, in your mind, what you said is, hey, I want to be married by this time. I want to have my last kid by this time. And if I have my choice, I wouldn't want to have to work to pay significant bills. So I need a man making $300,000 a year. The chance of you getting a man, you would like a man making $300,000, but the likelihood of that is negligible because they want something. Excuse me?
Not that I'm gonna let you go ahead. Go ahead.
Because the men who make that kind of money want something, and most women want them, and you're competing with the women around him, and they're not typically women who are your height, your weight, and your S&D.
Okay.
That's the net of it. Everything else you bring to the table is nothing. It's not bad, but it's not exceptional. So if you can get the things you bring to the table in a better package for his S&B, that's what he's going to get.
Okay.
So if you got married, you're saying you would be happy and you would cooperate and work with a man who's making average money, a plumber or something like that, electrician.
If that's who I fall in love with, then yeah.
It's not about love, man. Love comes later. It's about duty and respect. You don't have love to sustain a 30, 40, 50-year marriage. It's a choice.
And I also think
it's a choice.
The earning potential comes into play, because if you're saying men don't reach their full earning.
Excuse me. The earning potential.
Yeah, you said earlier that men don't. I guess.
See, what you're basically saying is he may be here now, but he could increase in the end.
Yeah.
That's not what I said. I said he was going to make it for a lifetime. I counted that. I counted for that already. There's no increase. He is at the average. He is not a bum. He's doing average work like any other tax-paying solid citizen. Not, I'll take him today as long as he's as ambitious and he's assertive and willing to do something else. See, gentlemen, this is what I say. You better question these women, because at the end of the day, being average is not what they want, because they don't think they're average. Average women don't think they're average. That's what this segment is going to show. She's average. She doesn't think she's average. Therefore, your average status, even at the beginning, will be a placeholder. She's going to expect you to do better because in her mind, she's up here. But you know what? Lizzo says the same stuff. Let her tell her she's a bad bitch.
She
But when let her,
she's bigger, but she's beautiful.
and then when she went to shoot her shot at Chris Evans, she got shot down. She's not. She's not. That body is not beautiful, and that's part of our problem. We have told women like that they're beautiful, and they've made it to where I look at young women like you, and you're distorted. You look at that and say beautiful, and I look at men who see Lizzo naked and they're disgusted.
But there's also men that look at her and think she's.
Okay. You're right. You're right.
But
This is what I mean.
true.
Black men.
Run, bitch! Run!
Oh my gosh.
This is what. This is why I say when I ask the question, what do women owe their community? They owe you nothing. Because no, I'm talking to them. They don't owe you anything because you can't even deal with reality. You're saying Lizzo is beautiful. To whom?
To men that are into bigger women. Like they exist. I feel like when you say those things, you
Yeah, they exist. I know those men typically high value, extremely successful men.
I can't say. I don't.
Bullshit. You can't say. Yes, you can. They're not. They're not. And why is it that, and there's this body positivity stuff, why is it that people like Lizzo, as big as she is, she still wants the hot, in shape guy? She doesn't want a guy that, why isn't Lizzo going after men that look like Lizzo?
You have to ask her that. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the delusion. To where, remember guys when I said it's always this subjective variable, there's always these special snowflakes. You may not like my method, but it is rooted in facts, data, statistic, and the science of our culture. This is warped.
So are you saying that she because she is whatever, I don't know what size Lizzo is, but because she is I guess
don't they? How much does because Lizzo is what?
But because she's saying that because she's that size, that she should not go after men she finds attractive. I think
Lizzo is 308 pounds.
Okay, so but because she's 308 pounds, and I'm not.
What is your question? What is your question about what she should do?
No, I'm saying because that weight, just because she's that weight, she should not go after that are standard of attractive men. So like fit men. She
can go after whatever she wants to, but she's not entitled to any of them. That's why she keeps getting shot down by all of them.
But I don't.
Excuse me.
But how can you say?
Excuse me.
No, I'm good.
Excuse me. She's 308 pounds, and every man she's wanted and shot at has turned her down publicly. You can do whatever you want as a woman. You can think what you want to as yourself. You're entitled to believe what you want, but you're not entitled to those outcomes. You're going to get the reality. And we don't show me the male equivalent of Lizzo, a man who's below average in earnings, expecting a bona fide bad bitch.
But that's not equal because Lizzo.
Yes, it is. It's the same. No. That is the same scenario because attraction is not symmetrical. You're still thinking like this is crazy. You're still thinking that men and women find the same things attractive. The equivalent of Lizzo is a broke man, a short broke man going after Rihanna or something. He wouldn't even do it and if he did shoot a shot, he wouldn't get on social media talking about you need to accept short broke men and stop shaming broke men. And you're saying that somebody finds her beautiful and this and that. Okay. Sure, if that's what makes you women sleep better at night, that somebody somewhere in the Himalayas is going to find it. But the average rank and file man that she wants, that has options, does not want a woman like her. That's why she doesn't have one.
I can't speak to her life on that level. I think.
Yeah, of course, we can't ever speak to the obvious. But the reality, and how we got here is the notion of you're at 8 and you would like a man making 300,000, and it's just. I wish you the best, young lady. I really do.
A couple years, whenever I'm married, I'm follow up with you.
No, but he won't be making $300,000 a year.
He may be, he may not be.
Right. This is what. And see, and I want you folks to understand. The people who think this is rude, she would rather waste her time believing on the star that she can get that dude, other than dealing with the fact that man, you're average.
Listen,
you're average looking woman, and you're above average weight. And
Okay.
that's not an insult. That is a statement of observable fact.
I'm not insulted by anything that you.
Well, I'm saying that for the audience. I'm just saying you're
Okay.
not, and people may say, well, she's cute. I say you're a 5 or 6 on a good day. That's why I said, I'll give you a 5 or 6 on a good day. That's average to cute. That's average to cute. Not adjustable 6, damn sure not 8, 9, or 10. Over here are women who get snapped up like this. These are women who are universally beautiful. There's no real question about these women. And in your life, you would have had these outcomes. If you were an 8, 9, or 10, prom queen, this, that, model, such and so forth, these things would have followed you. So saying, just like Lizzo, she can say what she wants to, but the world reflects what it is, and you attract what you are. And if you're not dating men, if you're not attracting men for marriage or serious commitment relationships that are on that level, that go up to 8s, 9s, and 10s, that means they're not attracted to you.
Okay.
So why is this important? Because in order to get the things you say you really want long term, you're going to have to lower your standard.
We'll see. See.
Jesus H. Christ.
Amen.
Yeah, and this is why I have no problem telling these women they're going to die alone. I got no problem telling them they're going to die alone. I got no problem telling them they're going to die alone. I got no problem telling them they're going to die alone. Because they got no problem. They'll just sit here and they'll sit there and we'll see.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits. You name it.
That's right, girl. She stood her ground. She wasn't going to let him turn her mind. That's right, girl. You tell him you an 8 on your good day. And I'm just sitting there like, wow. We'll see. No, we already know. We already know. But the fact of the matter is, when you ask the question, what do women owe their community? They don't owe you anything. They don't believe they owe you anything. As a matter of fact, what we're seeing more than anything else is they want more. That's why I let that go on so long. They want more. I deserve it all. We'll see. Okay. Jessica. Well, I don't. Wow. It's I would say this, that we're to a point now to where again, shout out to the Bonnet crew. They'll just get on here and say anything. Because I honestly think that some women get a charge out of sitting here and saying, I'm just going to stand my ground and say the most egregious, outrageous thing. Hopefully it works for you. Maybe if you want to use the platform to try to, oh yeah, for your 15 minutes of fame, but I'm crazy out here with this stuff. Yep. But, I give her this one thing. She was not yelling and screaming, and she didn't get like emasculine. It was a good debate back and forth. It just got contentious at the end because I'm sorry. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy that you accepted my request because I've been watching you for quite some time now, and I agree with a lot of the things that you said.
Okay, what do women owe their community?
So I'll preface this with saying that I am Latina, I'm Dominican. Okay. So community is very, very big for us. Mm-hmm. So I believe that you owe your community, as a woman, you have to raise your kids a certain way because they're going to be a part of society. Mm-hmm. So you have to, be mindful that you're making honorable contributions to your society. So that's what I believe we owe our community.
So what about women who would choose to not marry, or choose to not have any children? Do they have any responsibility to their community? What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, if they don't have kids, I'm sure that they have nieces or nephews or, younger cousins, and they should be a positive model for them, role model for them.
So you saying you say this is big in your community.
Yes.
So are you married, or you have any children, or what?
I am not married. I do not have children yet.
Okay.
But I do want in the future. I'm ready.
Right. So, why would you say to date you're single? Uh-oh. Without blaming men.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to blame men.
Uh-oh, she's a fur mama.
I am a fur mama. So I have been single because I did take time to heal from my last relationship. We were going to get married and everything, but as you've said in the past, we tend to be the ones to walk away, and that's what happened. I did walk away.
Why?
So I'll take it.
Why?
Take it to the chin.
Why?
Because he was unfaithful. Yeah. But extreme. It was to an extreme.
Well, was he a high value man?
Above six figures, yeah. Not 300,000, but above six figures.
Okay. I have a pretty specific definition. Okay, so he was an unrepentant cheater.
I'm sorry?
He was an unrepentant cheater.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay. So, what next?
I am ready to settle down. I think that I've done enough healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready to be a wife and have kids. Like,
how many kids would you like?
2.
Okay. So if you feel like you're ready, where are you going to be found by the kind of man you would like to marry?
Well, it's been kind of hard through COVID, I'll be honest. But before that, I used to have work events where I would meet, high value men.
So does he have to be high value? Does he have to make in excess of 6 figures?
Yes.
He does. Okay. I didn't ask you, how old are you?
Oh my gosh, you're gonna kill me. 35. I'm 35.
Danger zone!
I know.
So, wait a minute. So I gotta ask, why does he have to make in excess of 6 figures?
Because I live in New York. And
New York City?
Yes. So 6 figure, above 100,000 is kind of average here. Like if I were to move,
it is, but unfortunately the numbers still don't skew that much. When I got promoted from Dallas to New York, it wasn't like I got 100% increase. I got a nice bump. But at 35 years old, wanting 2 kids, are you trafficking in places where men are looking to marry women your age?
if I'm honest, I don't even know where I would look, I am on dating apps, but
No, they're not there.
okay.
I mean, it says you're, is this real business banker? You're a banker?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's going to be a push. That's going to be a push. That 6-figure number is going to be a problem because only roughly 10% of the men make that kind of money. Is that a hard line, or is it because you live in New York? Because I get the feeling that if you lived in Dallas, you'd still say, yeah, you want 6 figures. That's the feeling I get from you. So you can say New York, but I don't believe that. All right, that's the truth. You want a 6-figure dude. All right, so real talk. 35. You're going into no man's land. Where are my fried eggs at?
Oh my God, I know, I
So, I
know.
mean, why not lower that number down? Because you were saying some of the right things at the beginning. Now it's kind of like, now it's getting problematic. For what you want as an outcome. What about if a guy is making 75,000 or more? Or is it because your salary, do you make more than 6? All right, so I got to ask the hard question then. Before your last boyfriend, how long were you guys together?
5 years.
Okay. And before him, what was your longest relationship?
3 years. So
Is
I'm a
that-
serial, like, long-term
So
relationship.
why didn't you in the 3-year guy get married?
Um, that's an interesting story.
But you left.
Huh?
But you left.
I did.
Do you have a relationship with a man that you haven't left?
No.
Uh-oh. All right, that's gonna hurt. Because the kind of men you're looking for are not real good on women who are not loyal.
I can take that. I can take that.
And because you're going to be in your mid-30s plus, you're pretty much going to be set in your ways. What have you done to ensure the next guy you're with, you guys can go the distance, provided he's suitable?
So I have been self-reflecting a lot, and you hit it right on the head, that loyalty piece, because so I think you should know I lost my father to cancer when I was 20. Ever since that point, I've been so scared to just give it all to a person and then lose, because of that was trauma right there. So because of that, and because of my last relationship, I have been working on, giving people grace. Yes, I do.
Okay. Are you still in therapy?
Yes.
Have you? How long has it been?
3 years.
Ooh.
Consistently. Yeah.
You're supposed to graduate from therapy.
You think so? You think I should you should think I should just stop?
I know I know a lot of psychiatrists. I promote therapy heavily, and one thing that any serious therapist will tell you, that there should be a graduation date, unless there's something that requires ongoing maintenance with medication, schizophrenia.
No.
So it should be a graduation, because therapy can become addictive, can become a new crutch.
I can see that.
And
It's like my safety
net. Is your therapist a woman?
Yes, she is. Should I seek a male therapist?
I think it might be wise. I don't think 3 years. I mean, I don't think. I think it'd be wise to move on, because here's the net of it. You don't have any time to waste.
Right.
You don't have any time to waste. So whatever you meet, if you met him, could you keep him? I mean, I look at your Instagram and you doing your little sexy thing, but can you keep him? That shit, that's nice, but can you keep him? You look nice, but are you a place of peace for a man? Or are you a runner? You a track star? Are you for the streets?
I'm not for the streets, no.
Right, but are you a runner? You a track star? Everything you've been in, you left. Well, then honestly, why would a man who's going to be putting in 10, 12, 14-hour days, getting out and grinding out, got to go down there and be the best version of himself? He going to come home and see hangers and poles?
No, my God, no.
Then you got to get to the issue of why you run.
Yeah.
Because the next time you run, you talk about running with somebody's kids.
Oh, okay. No, and it's so interesting, because I was raised in a household very traditional. My parents were together for 25 years. They probably would have still been together now. And my mom is.
You were raised in a household of traditional with your booty all up on Instagram? Yeah, you got to thoughten it up. Lord have mercy. Kill me, you Dominican women. But anyway, seriously though, all jokes aside. Some of the things you were saying in the beginning, cool. But long-term therapy with a one-person female, no. I think You need to disrupt things, change up the pattern, because whatever makes you run, because you're talking about giving somebody grace. You're going to have to give up some stuff on your list. You cannot demand what you demanded at 30 or at 25. I mean,
I agree.
you could have had that list at 23, 25, but at 35, you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up something. Especially, you got to realize the man who's getting you is going to be taking chances on, eggs that may be. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, it's true.
It's more likely that the man is going to. This is going to sting a lot of women. It's more likely that he's going to be settling for you because your sexual marketplace value is going down while his is going up.
Right.
You're 35. When a man hits 40, 45, that's being like a 25-year-old woman, especially if you got your power, money, status game together. So I would consider seriously finding your animating issue, and then after that, seriously, you may want to consider a matchmaker because you can't waste any time, COVID or not.
Right.
You got any single girlfriends you hang out with?
Yes.
Wow.
What?
Single women keep women single.
Oh, okay.
Single women keep, like, these pictures. Were you going on trips with your girlfriend or with your guy?
No, my girlfriends. My girlfriends.
Oh, holy shit. So
What?
Okay. I'm not gonna put your pictures up, but going out with your girlfriends, taking hot girl summer pictures, seems hot.
Right.
But for a man, I'm looking and I'm saying, yeah, I'd smash, but I'm not gonna take her seriously. And then if you tell me you got single friends, I'm like, then you got.
Well, I do have. You asked me who I spend time with, so I do have friends that are married and have children, and I have friends that are single. But obviously, the ones who are committed, they're not gonna be going out like that.
Better to not go out with. Better to spend time by yourself than a single girlfriend.
Okay.
You're bringing their issues, and the number one and number two, if a man that may find you attractive sees you out with 3 women at the bar, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder because he's going to come and talk to you. Yeah, you go to Mastro's, plant yourself at the bar by yourself. Read a book. Don't have a mobile device. Get a handkerchief. Drop that shit. And take out them long ass mink eyelids.
Lashes.
You don't need all that shit.
Okay.
Just work with what God gave you. But at 35, it's not over. You should be able to beat younger women by some of the things you said you learned. But you got to continue to do the hard work. And that's the really finding out why you run. Because I've said this to women before and I'm saying it again. If whatever God you pray to came and said, the next one I'll send you is going to be the last one for a lifetime, you would make it work.
Of course.
All right. Well, then women need to start acting like men are a renewable resource, like they're not going to run out, because the kind of caliber of men you want is finite.
Yeah.
And there's many men may not want to deal and date a younger 20-something. So you should be able to beat 20-somethings by ability to bring him peace. But you can't bring peace with track shoes on.
Understood.
All right. Later,
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Later. See, guys, I'm cool with you, cool with me. And here's the thing. I am not against, I'm going to say this again. Women between the 27 and 35, you should really be winning if you're ready to do the work, because you're not 18 to 24. You should have the experience of knowing what works or what doesn't work, and being able to bring that to the kind of caliber man you want. But you gotta think about ditching your girlfriends. Your girlfriends are cool and all, but hang out with them, talk to them on the phone, but lead them out your relationships and go out by yourself. All right. What the hell? What is going on my phone? So, let me see what y'all in here saying. I know y'all was in there tripping. If I know y'all. So I say, I think it's funny when they call me gay. I'm like, let me help you out. Bye, dude. Next time, see, one thing I don't do is I don't do this. So, I'm hard where it needs to be. A lot of you guys have, let me tell you something, a lot of you black men, you need to get your mommy issues under control. Because I listen to some of you guys, and you, it may not be your intention, but you come across like women. Stop defending women that would not defend you. That's what I really want to ask some of you guys. Why you keep coming here defending women who won't even smile for you, who say they owe you nothing, when you're an average dude and they laugh at it? So coming in here, you hard on black women. Unless you're making $400,000 or $500,000 a year, you need to kind of shut it down and listen. I think I saw it. You guys, anyway. He said, how dated she is, man. Go for it, man. Hit up on getting the DMs. Careful on these DMs, man. Hello.
Hey, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good.
I can barely hear you. Let me turn off the. Say something. I can't hear your audio right now. Okay, go ahead.
I need my headphones. Oh, sorry.
So I'm going to talk to the audience while you look for that. I'm going to talk to the audience while you look. Go ahead. Go ahead. So let me see.
I got my headphones in.
All right.
Can you hear me? Okay. Hey, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh,
Okay.
You can mute myself. Okay, good. So what's your first name? How old are you?
Marlene.
Arlene?
36. Marlene.
All right. So the question I'm asking, Marlene, is what do women owe their community?
Okay. I think it's a great question because a lot of times, Kevin, you talk about women need to be submissive, women have to be cooperative, women have to be a helpmate, the women have to do all these things, right? And to be quite honest with you, so let me just start off by kind of give you a little bit of my background, okay? I'm originally from the Ivory Coast. I'm West African. I've been in the U.S. since like 1996, okay? And when I lived, so my first language is French. So when I lived back in Africa and living also here in the States, right? One thing I have noticed, and I'm being very, very honest and very forthcoming, right, is that I do feel that African American women definitely do a lot for their community. And they have constantly done a lot for their community. And it's true that sometimes they can be a bit combative, they can be very defensive, that they cannot smile and all these different things, right? But they've done a lot for their community.
Okay.
And what you constantly, hold on, I'm coming. And what you constantly notice,
Hold on.
including yourself, Kevin.
Hold on. You can't overtalk me now.
I'm not over talking you, Kevin.
Well,
I'm trying to finish my point.
Well, ma'am, I let you go, but I'm not going to let you just monologue when you say stuff.
It's not a monologue, Kevin.
Okay, see,
it's
that's not going to work.
Oh, okay. So we only talk according to your terms, right? Because it's important
it's my show, and see, this is what's going to stop. See, I let you have a long time. See,
it's not even a long time.
See, gentlemen, we're not okay, ma'am. I'm going to bid you a good night. Okay, I waited for you to get your microphone. I went through all of that, and I let you talk for over a minute, and I just.
And you think that's a long time?
I think it's long for somebody who has really no respect for what's going on here.
That
if
is
you
not
want,
true
if you
at
want
all,
to do
Kevin.
something else, ma'am, go do your own
because
show.
I'm not about doing something
this is
else.
how it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're going to do it my way, or you can go to your platform and do it.
But is it also possible that your way can also be a me? There's no problem, Kevin. I'm going to answer
my
your
way,
problem.
and it's my way, and that's the way it's going to be.
And that's
if you
no
can't
problem.
do it, that's okay.
When you say what do women, especially
because
with the black
I asked
women,
you, what do women? You said they've done a lot for their community.
Yes.
And I said, what do you mean?
But what do I mean? Okay, so let me. Now can I talk?
if you answer my question.
Okay, no problem. I think what they've done, as I look as African American women, I think what they've done is they've stayed behind. I think what they've done is they've been the teachers. They continue to be the teachers. I think what they've done is that they have embraced not just regular education, they have embraced higher education. They have embraced
What do you mean they
postgraduate.
stayed behind?
So, okay, what I mean by they've stayed behind, right? If we start off the notion that the African American community, due to racism, due to segregation, due to Jim Crow, was kind of pretty much.
No, that's not what we're starting. That was that Great Society in 1965. We're living in an integrated society. What do
Okay,
you
so
mean?
when do you want to start?
Okay, man. What do you mean they stayed behind? What are you talking about?
Okay, so give me a time point and I start.
Well,
from
you're
there.
the one that said. You're the one that said.
But what if I said something? You
Okay,
cut me
ma'am.
off?
Well, I'm going, and guess what, ma'am? I'm going to continue to cut you off because it's my.
But then give me
okay,
a time.
Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. This is why I don't talk to. See, you guys ask me to let people talk. This is why I don't let people talk. This is why I don't let them talk. Rude, argumentative, combative. This is why you don't let people talk. I'm not going to let you monologue like a DC villain. I'm not going to listen to you just say shit. Go say it on your platform. But over here, it's going to be a conversation. Now, you guys heard me sit there and ask her multiple times, but the point is she didn't have a conversation. She had talking points. And it's that bullshit that has kept black women stuck. They stayed behind. Stayed behind from what? She didn't want to answer that because that would imply she stayed behind. That would mean the black men left. Yeah, she angry, bitter. You could tell she's seething. Stayed behind. They've done so much. Really? You kept cutting her off, and I'm going to go ahead and cut you off too. Bye-bye. See, that's what I mean. That woman I just blocked, you kept cutting her off. You ladies actually expect me to just let them talk and talk and talk through. Did I have that issue with the last conversation? Absolutely not. And I will tell you this, any woman that thinks that that's what it's going to be, kindly exit stage left. You are not going to like this platform. You will not. You will not burn through and just dominate this. Go to your channel and do that shit. Over here, I run it. And I gave her 3 chances. Actually, I gave her 4 chances. But she wasn't here to have the conversation. She wasn't here to talk her talking points, which is the same shit. Black women stay behind. Stay behind what? You're in the neighborhood that we're all in. You stay behind with your kids. The ones that you can't seem to stay with the child's father. You pregnant longer than you've been in a relationship. Last time you married, when you finally do marry, you marry less than 5 years, and when you do divorce, 80-90% of you file for divorce. Oh, if y'all want to have a conversation, have a conversation, but you won't do what she just tried to do. You won't do what she just tried to do. I'll shut that shit down every time. Run tell that. Do you want to talk? Click the like, click the request button. Oh, I'm ready to go now. I was about to go now, but y'all want it? Let's do it. They're supposed to be a guest. I'm the host. You're a guest. You are not the lead singer. They didn't come to see you, Otis. They came to see me, not you. They came to have a conversation. If you want to talk, let's have a conversation. But when you don't have anything but talking points, she had her bullet points. I got my list, and I had to go through my list. The entire minute, I'm just sitting there like, And see, what we have seen, though, is this is how conversations go in real time. And this is what has happened on the show. Many times people are seeing how conversations with, I don't know that woman. There's nothing romantic between us, but who can say that woman came in here in good faith to have a conversation? She came in here combative. And this is what this is showing, that this is how so many men are having to deal with women today. It's like, goddamn. Stop any cause women don't agree. Don't stop any cause women don't agree with you. Let me do this for you. Enjoy your time, because you're too stupid to comment on my platform. If you think I ended the call because she didn't agree with me, you're too stupid to talk. So enjoy purgatory. That's what I'm saying. You little ball cap boys, y'all need to do more closing your mouth. That's not your mama I'm talking to. The woman that I shut down because she would not even sit down and have a conversation. Do you realize while you're trying to defend this, she wouldn't think twice and look at you. You're the very average man that she'd laugh at. I don't understand when you guys are going to start understanding that coming out here with your cape flapping in the wind for women ain't gonna get you any more brownie points with them. They don't respect you. Well, they don't like you. They may not like me, but they do at least gotta respect me. They don't even want you. Man, let her talk, let her talk. You let her talk on your Instagram channel. Oh, they don't want to talk to you. I've been watching this show, Snowfall. And one thing I would say I love about this show, I love it. It's great writing, great acting, but let me say that's gonna bring somebody else. But one thing that bothers me the most is it's in the 80s. And I see how Franklin Saint and all these strong black male characters who are doing what they gotta do in the world, hustling, making moves, but they all, when they're around their mothers, they all know mama, mama, they become little boys. And every time I see that, I remember that's the same time frame where I was a teenager, and I saw so many men going out into the world to make their own mark, who had to cower before their mother. And that's what I see far too often with guys today. You don't know how to stand up for women who will walk over you. So don't tell me what I need to do if you can't even stand up to the women you work with and telling me how to run my show. Zip it. All right, Sweet J, NBA. I am more than willing to have a conversation, a contentious conversation, a conversation where somebody does not agree with me, but we have to have some order. Hello? All right, she's not there. Gotta have some order. Without order, there's chaos. Won't do that. Okay, somebody said they wanted to jump on. Let me see in the comment section. So if you want to jump on, let me see. What was the last one that popped up? Because now there's just too many requests, so I got to go to the last one. So Snowfall. Franklin Saint is a great written character, but every time he's around his mother, I'm just like, damn it. There is never, I cannot think of a time where a black male character has been written to where he was a complete alpha male. Give me an example of complete alpha male where he had to demur to no one. Had to demur to no one. If you want to talk, then get on. Real icy shit. If you want to talk, get on. But think about it. You got guys up here making $1 million deals and doing this and doing that. But I'm sorry, mama. I'll give it all up for you, mama. Black men, hear me and hear me well. We're the only group of men that fear our mothers. That fear our mothers to the point to where we cannot ascend past them. Fear it. And you sit back and look and say, well, damn. The only ones that ascend to the point of power and have to demur. Oh, understand something. Until you get to the point to where you can honestly sit back and say, no, you do not have to accept women bulldozing past you. I'm seriously, I sit back, you don't have to let her just go through. What? Are you kidding me? No. So, last person in. You're supposed to respect your mother, though. Respect, you're supposed to honor. You're not to, respect is earned. And you're not supposed to allow your mother to disrespect you. See, that's a big mistake. See, this is what I mean. Think about the first time you were in somebody's house and you heard the white guys, my mom is such a bitch, and such a this, such that. No, you're supposed to honor your mother and father. But you do not have to respect, you should not respect your mother more than you respect your father. Let me say this again. In the Black community, on the eve of Mother's Day, there's some shit that we need to get straight. Black boys are taught to hold their fathers responsible for their mother's failures. That's why so many of you can't stand up and say something to a woman, because you're taught to hold your father responsible for your mother's failure. Your mother failed, your first out is your daddy. Well, we was broke, but daddy wasn't around. No, maybe your mama was just a failure. Maybe she was just a hoe. Like you call these, she's for the street and all these other kind of stuff. And You can always call these women today, but can you call that to your mama? Can you judge your mama like you judge black women today, and then hold your father as free as you want women to hold you? Oh shit. And then women are like, well, black men do it too. Well, here's the problem. Black men cannot continue to see good black men do the right and get wronged. So when you say they do it too, let me say it again. Young black boys cannot continue to see black men do right and get wronged. So if you're mad at what the men do, who raised them? That same mother. That's the failure. But see, anytime you start trying to hold and say, well, why is he the way he is? You still want to go to the man who wasn't there. Oh, French toast that. That's why you got men coming in. You should let him talk, bro. And you're so rude. You know, and you should. No. You don't see any other community of men tucking their tail to their women like we do. And everybody say, oh, women always got to be wrong. You got to go ahead and try to play the reverse psychology game. That ain't going to work on me. Bottom line, black boys tend to hold their fathers responsible for the failures of their mothers. And I'm sorry, black boys cannot continue to see black men who do right get wrong. Meaning the guys who like anime, the guys who are into skateboarding, in chess, in video games, science, engineering, technology, man. You know, all the corny, goofy, lame, weirdo stuff. The dudes that ain't, Pookie and Ray and ain't out doing this and ain't sagging and all that. Yeah, the ones you want to call goofy, lames, weirdos and all that kind of stuff. And then the guys that go out and try to do the right thing, try to be the right, and then those are the same guys you run your truck over. Then you expect black boys to see black men who do right get wronged. And you expect them to want to grow up to be that way? You expect them to want to grow up and get wronged? No. How you treat your men is how you get your men. And understand, I'm talking to today, a couple of weeks ago, you don't even think you should be asking to smile at a black man is offensive. To whereas now, let them do whatever they want, say whatever they want. And if you have the nerve to stand up and say something, you're gay. You hate your mama. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. And that's the thing. You're going to have to always say the same thing. It's always going to be something wrong with you. And it's always the same. And what's it going to take? What's it going to take? Oh, and everybody that comes in without a face, I'm just blocking you. Block is, if I see you make a comment, you don't have a face, you get blocked. Because what's not going to happen is, oh, you just hate black women. Like it or not, you're going to have to come up with better than that. You have to come up with better than that. Because at the end, look at this. You know what really pisses them off too? It pisses them off because people stay watching, people come in. Why are y'all so angry at somebody saying the truth? Ask yourself a question. Let's do this real quick. Why are y'all so angry at somebody telling the truth? Now, on my Instagram, I had a poll. See, Instagram is usually a platform where women dominate. But when you actually have something to say and they don't like it, but you're just talking about something that can be looked up, they can't get mad. Hey, here's the question. What percentage of men share my views, ladies? Meaning, do you think the majority of men agree or disagree with my views? Less than 30%, 10%. 50 to 70%, 20%. 75% or more, 70%. And on Instagram, it was even higher. Women came in and said, I think 90+% of men agree. Well, then it ain't just about me. So every time they come in and say this same stuff, sign language, shame, insults, guilt, but they did be right. Understand something, gentlemen. It's making an impact. They're making an impact. That's why they look at the badges, they look at the hearts, they count. They're looking at the subscriber count money, and what it's doing is it's showing that whether you like it or not, there's support. Because you know I'm not just speaking for myself. You don't get this amount of support because I'm talking for myself and I'm just making stuff up. And it's making women have to sit back and say, all right, there's a disconnect between us and them. But if you can be an average woman, average, and thinking you really should, above average, and should have somebody on that level, why can't people take the truth? They can. They can. They can. They just don't. It's not popular to do it in public. It's not popular to do it in public. I get emails from women every day saying thank you. But the sisterhood, but you got to understand, the power of the structure is so much that when a woman stands up to say anything where she may possibly agree that, you know, we need to have some balance, or maybe men ain't at fault, that's the first thing they want to do. They're gonna go to destroy that woman. That's why the first person I talked to, she said, I only spend about 20% of my time because if she were to tell women the truth, she'd jeopardize her brand and her business. That's why I said modern women love liars and cheaters. They love people who lie to them. But it's not helping you. It's not helping you. And talking your talking point, saying that it's white supremacy, racism, such and so forth, before that's any of that stuff, we got to get to the person who's sleeping next to us. You got to deal with the person sleeping next to you. And can you honestly say that when you deal with the rank and file modern woman, do you feel like she's an ally or an adversary? Do you feel like she's an ally or an adversary? Do you feel like she's an ally or an adversary? Seriously. All bullshit aside, when you just have a conversation with the average modern woman, do you feel like she is an ally or an adversary? Because I know I'm sitting around and listening to conversations, and I know especially when there's a disagreement that happens, many guys just like, I don't even want to hear it, so they just stop talking because they know if I disagree, it's not going to stop. That's wrong, guys. You should not have to fear disagreeing with women. You shouldn't have to fear telling the truth because they're going to just keep going and going and going. At some point, all the more, you're going to have to stand up and say something. Because if you think that by caping and doing the things that they like you to do, they're going to like you better, you're just fooling yourself. You talk about delusion. Guys that think like that are the most deluded. And trust me, been on both sides of it. So cool, man. Appreciate everybody joining tonight. I'm going to upload this over to YouTube. Bits and pieces of it. It's going to stay on Instagram for a minute. I got a couple more things to do over here. We're going to go live tomorrow on YouTube, and we're going to keep on doing what we do. And they can just sit back and be like,
It burns. Oh, it burns. Oh.
but I got something for the guys too, man. This week we're going to talk, guys. We're going to talk, gentlemen. You got something coming too, and I don't know. Hopefully y'all are ready for it, because the one thing that men got to focus on more than anything else. We're going to get into it. Thank you, guys. Let me see if we got any more questions or comments. That was good. Until the next time, folks, we out of here. Peace.